So right off the bat, first thing you notice, of course, is the display, which has some really awesome edge-to-edge action, but also has some interesting top sensor protrusion going on, coming down from the top. You may have seen this in the latest leak where the HomePod firmware had a little bit of a silhouette developers found that represents the next iPhone. And it has this indentation at the top for these front-facing sensors. It looks a little bit weird in the glyph, but seeing it in real life, this is what it would look like. And honestly, it still looks a little bit funky, but now that you see how the display kind of wraps around that bar with the rounded edges everywhere, it still looks really interesting. Reminds me of the renders of the Essential phone, actually, which we have also yet to see in person. But obviously, if this is what it looks like, my biggest question is what Apple plans to do with the software. You know, will they put stuff up there in the top corners? Maybe battery to one side, the signal strength to the other side, and then notifications in the middle? Bezels are shrinking. The iPhone has had a massive forehead and chin, and even side bezels forever. iPhone 7 Plus had a 5.5-inch display this year, but is still one of the biggest phone bodies on the market. This iPhone 8 model has what measures up to be a 5.7 to 5.8-inch diagonal, but in a smaller body. So this is a big deal for the modernization of iPhone design for sure. Smaller body, more handheld, more pocketable. So thanks to some After Effects magic, this is what the display on the front of the iPhone might look like when it's on with iOS 11. Again, not really sure exactly what they do with the status bar up top. We played around with this for a bit, but you can see it gets a lot closer to that 2017 feeling of just holding a display in your hands. Will it be more breakable and fragile because of this design, you know, getting closer to the corners? Of course, but let's be real, it's probably worth it and people are kind of breaking their phones anyway. So now for some other quick things you may notice about this body. Number one is the glass back. So the iPhones up to this point have had these metal backs, which of course feel and look super premium, but of course don't support wireless charging. Wireless charging doesn't work through metal. This iPhone 8 model has a glass back very similar to what we've seen in Samsung phones like the Galaxy S8 and Note, so you can support wireless charging, but keep the metal on the sides and still keep that premium feel in the hand. The other thing is the camera bump on the back is, of course, still there. It's pretty big, but of course, this is what we've been seeing for months now in leaks about the new iPhone. New orientation for the camera sensors, flash in the middle in between them, and hopefully these new cameras get a spec bump to go with that big camera bump and take some more awesome photos and videos with this new year. The power button on the side is something I noticed. It's in the same place, but it is a little bit bigger, which is interesting because of the rumor that Apple might try to stick a fingerprint reader in the power button this year since they couldn't get it to work under the display in time. But the most recent info suggests that this will be a normal power button and Apple will go all out with 3D facial recognition for unlocking your phone securely. And then yeah, just the overall premium look and feel of this model. It's way nicer than early renders, obviously, just like it ends up being every year. The glass even kind of has this 3D curve right at the edges, sort of melts into the side rails, so it's smooth around there, it's smooth to hold. But that is pretty much it. And honestly,